At first glance, he looks like just another exhausted passenger, slouched slightly in seat 8A, headphones on, jacket folded over his lap. A tired single dad finally catching up on sleep after weeks of long nights and early mornings. Dark circles sit under his eyes, the quiet evidence of a life spent balancing work, parenting, and survival. No one around him suspects anything unusual. To them, he's invisible. What they don't know is that this man once lived in the sky, years ago. He wasn't counting school fees or packing lunchboxes. He was flying combat missions at supersonic speeds, trusted with million-dollar aircraft and life-or-death decisions made in seconds. He had trained under extreme pressure, mastered emergency maneuvers, and learned how to stay calm when everything around him was falling apart. But war leaves scars you can't see. After a mission that changed everything, he walked away choosing his child over the cockpit, silence over metals. Now, the roar of the engines feels distant and familiar at the same time. He sleeps through light turbulence, through the soft clink of drink carts, through the laughter and whispers of strangers, until suddenly the aircraft jolts. The cabin lights flicker. A tense voice crackles over the intercom. The captain asks if there are any combat pilots on board. Gasps ripple through the cabin. Fear replaces comfort in seconds. Passengers look at one another, searching for hope in unfamiliar faces. In seat 8A, the single dad stirs. His eyes open slowly, not in panic, but with recognition. In that moment, the past he buried collides with the present. The sky is calling him back. The cabin falls into uneasy silence. A sudden announcement from the captain cuts through the background hum of the plane. Is there a combat pilot on board? We need immediate assistance. Passengers exchange worried glances. Some clutch armrests, others whisper frantic prayers. Panic spreads like wildfire. Mothers tighten their hold on children. Businessmen glance nervously at their watches, and elderly travelers stiffen in fear. None of them can imagine the gravity of what's about to unfold. Meanwhile, in seat 8A, the single dad stirs. His eyes flutter open to the sharp tone of urgency slicing through the monotony of the flight. For a moment, he is disoriented. Was this a drill? A joke? Then the words sink in. Combat pilot. On board. Immediate assistance. Memories flood back in an instant. The roar of jet engines. The tense coordination in the cockpit. The split-second decisions that separated life from death. He hadn't flown a combat mission in years. He had left that life behind to raise his child and build a semblance of normalcy. Yet here it is demanding him back. Panic in the cabin turns to a mix of curiosity and hope. Passengers' eyes fall on him as he straightens in his seat, suddenly alert. His aura changing from weary parent to trained professional. The sleeping father realizes the call is meant for him. He inhales deeply, feeling the weight of responsibility settle onto his shoulders. No longer just a passenger, he becomes the lifeline for everyone aboard. Instantly, his instincts kick in. Calmness replaces fear, strategy replaces chaos, and confidence masks uncertainty. In that tense moment, a quiet hero reawakens. The plane and everyone inside depends on him. The ordinary flight is transformed into a life-or-death mission, and the father knows he has no choice but to rise to the challenge. The moment of truth has arrived. The plane rattles slightly, turbulence underscoring the tension in the cabin. For the single dad in seat 8A, there is no time to hesitate, no time to question whether he's ready. Fear claws at the edges of his mind, memories of past missions flashing like lightning. But alongside it, something stronger surfaces: duty, responsibility, the unshakable instinct to act when lives hang in the balance. He rises from his seat, the tired parent replaced by a calm, focused pilot. The cabin falls silent as passengers watch him move with purpose, sensing that he carries the weight of every life aboard. Children cling to their parents. Elderly travelers hold their breaths, and flight attendants exchange glances of cautious hope. All eyes are on him, yet he feels no pressure, only clarity. Every procedure, every maneuver he once learned comes rushing back as if no time had passed. He assesses the situation with a veteran's precision, communicates with the cockpit and crew, and takes the controls if necessary. Each decision is swift, each action deliberate. The man who spent years nurturing his child now becomes a protector of hundreds of strangers, proving that heroism is not just born in combat, it lives in choices made under pressure. As the crisis slowly subsides, the tension in the cabin begins to lift. Relief washes over passengers who had moments ago feared the worst. They don't yet know the depth of what they witnessed. An ordinary man who could have remained invisible. A single dad who chose courage over comfort, and who reminded everyone that true heroes never stop being pilots, never stop rising when called upon. By the time the plane lands safely, the story is already etched in the minds of everyone aboard, a tale of quiet strength, unexpected bravery, and the enduring spirit of a man who proved that heroism transcends titles, ages, and roles.